Hello there. I promised I would bring you an update. I recorded a video last Monday before, I forget. It was quite emotional, quite raw, but I never ever got a chance to get around to posting it. Things have changed a bit since then, so I'm re-recording it, and I'm going to try and abbreviate and bring you all up to speed. I'll start with Evelyn, because I know a lot of you are asking how she's doing. And want to know how she is. So about 3 weeks ago, actually longer than that, 4 weeks ago, something like that, we were called in to see an oncologist just before radiotherapy finished. I think it was the same week that radiotherapy finished, and we assumed we were called in to get an update on how she was, how her health was, how the cancer was, that kind of thing, which would have made sense. So anyway, we go in expecting that, hoping for good news, and the oncologist was not any help at all that day. Very withdrawn. I don't know if she was having a bad day or what, but she was not great. Diverted a lot of questions, answered questions with questions. Evan had brought up, because the surgery was pretty much botched the first time, although they got away what was incredibly important, what was agreed on and had been built up for 9 months. Evan had built herself up to that point, and she got there on a day to find out they weren't going to do it. And the surgeon who had said the whole time he was doing it wasn't in the building. And the woman who was doing it had no idea what the plan was, because they never bothered to tell her. Because somebody had decided along the way they knew better, but they never actually told or spoke to Evan about it. So she was devastated, as you can imagine. So she wants to get what wasn't done, if that makes sense. So Evelyn brought that up about halfway through this appointment. Now, one of the people that I promised Evelyn, there was 4 oncologists, 2 surgeons, a plastic surgeon, and countless nurses had all agreed what was happening in that surgery. And they hadn't been speaking to each other, or whatever happened. But one of them was that oncologist we went to see. So when Evan brought up, the minute she brought up that oncologist wanted nothing to do with it, she diverted it, she hid for it, because she knew the ball had been dropped. She knew that Evan wasn't happy about it, but rather than just take some accountability and deal with it so everybody can move on, she palmed it off and said, that's nothing to do with me, speak to your surgeon, I don't have any answers. She was really, it wasn't nice. And then before we got a chance to ask how everything was, she stood up and ushered us out the door whilst still talking. Yeah, so that pissed me off, and that's why the other week there when I recorded it, I was less laid back than I am now. But hey, we are where we are. It's still wrong, but it's done. So I've been trying to chase them up since then with phone calls. Eventually got a phone call back yesterday for Evelyn's nurse. So that's only yesterday. We've been trying to get a hold of them since that appointment, which was, I think, 3 weeks ago. Sounds about right. Even if it was 2, it's still far too long to be waiting. And spoke to the nurse yesterday. I told the nurse what had happened and said, look, I just want to know how I am, how my health is, how the cancer is. And the nurse said, oh, well, didn't they tell you when you were in? I'm like, no. I'm really sorry. You should know this, Evelyn, but you're in remission. You're what's classed as cancer-free. Which is it's amazing, eh? It's really, really good. Aye, long path, but it's excellent. But it's wrong as well, because that oncologist knew that day. She knew, and she never told her. So for the last 2 weeks, Evelyn's been panicking, worried. We both have. Is there something else? Is there something we need to prepare for? And she knew she was cancer-free and never bothered to tell her. And if we hadn't chased it and hadn't spoke to that nurse, we still wouldn't know. And that is, it's not just me, is it? That is wrong on a lot of levels. So yeah. So Evelyn's cancer-free, which is amazing. Yeah, you'll agree with that. So continue with the treatment. She's on injections and stuff, prevention, and just hope, pray, whatever you do, that there isn't a return. But sorry, I'm just moving you. But I couldn't be any prouder of her. I really, really couldn't. She's been outstanding. And I'll brief you on mine really quickly. I don't want to rattle on too long. I've not been well for a good few weeks now. Feeling it My stomach is bad, pain, not holding meals down properly, which is all alarm bells for where I was in the very start of all this. Breathing is awful, chest is bad, there's a lot of things wrong. Sorry, ignore my dog. Finally got to see my GP, spoke to my specialist nurse, and they've decided that they've brought my scans forward twice. So originally it was April to May, and now it's May to next week. So it's really quick. So I'm in for CTs and stuff next week. I've also been referred to a gastroenterologist because there's a concern that the tumours are pushing against all the piping, basically, which is causing problems in my stomach, causing pain, problems eating. Maybe the stent that they put in has slipped, and also to check for COPD, asthma, that kind of stuff, and also the scans and that'll check the lungs, because my breathing is bad. It's just deteriorated slowly along with my health. I feel it slipping, and I'm just hoping it's something that can be rectified and it's not something tied with the illness. But right now I don't know. So yeah, pretty nervous about that, a bit worried, but day at a time. Day at a time. So that's where I'm at, and that's where our health is, that's how the house is. I'm sorry I've not been back in touch as much the last couple of weeks. I was kind of all over it, and then kind of took some time away, which I had to do. I had to take some time to spend at home, invest in the house with the family, and my own health. As I say, I've just not felt great, so I've just not been up to it. So hopefully you can forgive me, and I'll be back again soon. Nothing but love for you all, and I will be back soon, promise. Much love to you all. Bye.